Ebusana yama wache ama wo akwaba wo hwen ewo Adom TV so sanso ana wote yenka asempa 94.7 FM. Enne eye mebu so ne de toso aduonu miensa 23rd of May 2020. Enne so yaba na wo twi dwumade se na me da bia de bre wo no aha na ensemo a edika na editie ni a ekira dwen na wo twemu ni nyina no ye gibre don hwere mienu na fe ye ne mpanifo esusu ho esi ginaye ewo sa ensem yi eho bidin edi CJ Forsen meda production team nyina ase afie ye beto aba se ye kasa electoral commission egu ahoboa so se obetro abato akata foforo new voters register ye kasa CI 91 akoto ma sebedafo animu a womo ebetra se na ma hwehwem sensa kire ya ewo mu no womo gitumu a nia broni friend breeder document nia ebeji atum ansa na watimi atro wudin wa abato akata nimu no eye niema document mienu a akwanya baako eka ho ma ne ye miensa se ankoye Ghana card na ankoye Ghana passport a obehia nipa momadi aginamu ana adanse e de amaw ansana watimi atworo wudin ewo abato krata fofora electoral commission eba betro mu anapai asembisa no eye baako pe edise electoral commission omo ye no saa is it justifiable? That is the question. Under justification ye bebisa whether it will be fair to every applicant. Obia no benya sa akwanya no na watimi anya sa niamai ana akwanya miensa eka ho no watimi anya sa akwanya no ansa na ne din akwa abato krata ne mu ana ne tosumienu. The objective of the EC going by these regulation principles obetimi aduru ho butaya EC di esi na nusu se obia din betimi akokrata ne mu no obetimi aduru sa butaye no eho yebekwa kakra na fe yahwe the current voters register yewo kwan ya yefa so kekere document a yehia ye ansana yedin eba the current voter register me kire voter ID card no ekura wo no niema yeje ya ansana udin ekosa abato krata ne mu na fe yahwe the process of registration and then common share down fa abato no ho ankasa specifically name the processes leading to the registration of the voter yebehwe na afa yahwe so bi kura be dia kaginamu amount one ebenya sa akukudro no ade aginamu di amount should the person be a relative ese nipa no yo busuani of course nipa bonfo nso so wo hono ma obi wo hono ma ye hohwo wonya Ghana ni kura obe pre se ni din ebekọ abato krata nim ye ka passport ani padodo sen ene wo bi Ghana card ne nso so NDC amayoko no raise issues wo ho se ye ka say enye obi a ena ne nsa atumi aka Ghana card ni bi anapay mene empanifo esinkonya na ya twetwe ho nkom of course ye bebbo modern nso so ne ahwe sani aman binom te South Africa Nigeria womo so womo fa eye womo niama lawyer ya Boaben Asamoah eye MPP communication director mranim ni kese pa lawyer atnase ye hwe nim se lawyer Sami Jemfi national communication officer of the NDC so ba be kan ye ho na afei ye de nkomatwetwe no ye de ato aso well ye hwe enimu esa lawyer mamemo akwaba
Joso Jerry.
Some what do
But
that's right on time. But that's it. Well, answer ne be shan komo twetwe no asiankasa no. Yenko hwe ne NDC ni MPP for eka efa nkomo a ye ba betwetwe ho.
This realization that first of all less than 2 million people have passports. Most of them have used the passports as bidder documents for NIA cards. And out of the estimated population of 18 million, only 6.5 million of those 18 and above have been issued with cards. And this we see as part of the grand conspiracy between the EC, NIA, and the ruling MPP to disenfranchise over 10 million eligible voters, mostly in NDC strongholds. The issue of lack of consultations with political parties on the proposed CI before it was laid in Parliament is something that cannot be overlooked. The claim, and very recent claim, by the MPP that the proposed CI was discussed at the 25th March IPAC meeting is a concocted barefaced lie, as the matter was neither on the agenda, and I think we have a copy of the agenda. The matter was neither on the agenda of the said IPAC meeting, nor captured in the records of the said meeting as has been discussed. In any case, and this is what makes it most ridiculous and preposterous, the proposed CI was laid in Parliament on the 17th of March 2020, 8 clear days before the 25th of March 2020 IPAC meeting in question. So how then do you say that a CI that has already been laid in Parliament was discussed at the subsequent IPAC meeting? Complete falsehood, and a very unintelligent one at that. But when it comes to identity management, it's not exclusive to Ghana. There are international standards and protocols. So the guarantee for somebody is meant to be the exception rather than the norm. By international protocol, only 5% of people should be guaranteed based on the secondary procedure, that is, people guaranteeing for you. The breeder document, which is the main document you choose, should be a document that majority of the people would have access to. And in this case, it should be the voter's ID card, which has over 16 million people. But you have a situation where, by virtue of the NIA's action, which I'll prove further, you will have over 16 million people, millions of people not being able to have access to the card, and yet that card is your main breeder document. That is not fair. So this idea of somebody can guarantee for you, in any case, from a very practical point of view, if you have to guarantee for 10 people in a very practical way, when the NIA were doing the registration, we all saw what happened. You go, you guarantee for the person, they say wait for the person to go through, because if any information you put out there is not correct and you've left, how would they know? So imagine somebody has gone there, spent a whole day or 2 days, 3 days, and then now he has to wait. All the people he guaranteed for, they must wait. It's going to be chaotic. That also delays the registration process.
If you compare the fact that we have a register which has the names of over 60 million Ghanaians, and you have only 600,000 people who have turned 18 years this year, okay, on grounds of public health, public safety, if we all decide upon consultations and engagements that there is no need for us to take that risk because human lives are irreplaceable, and that it is okay for us to go into these elections with the existing register without a new voters registration exercise, I don't think it will spoil much. Should we, even if we decide to still proceed with a limited registration exercise to register the 600,000 people who have just turned 18 years, you would agree with me that registering 18 million Ghanaians like they are seeking to do within 40 days is not the same and will not involve the same level of risk as registering just 600,000 people.
I believe you must have heard about the South Korean elections. Are you aware that they also registered people? They registered people for their elections. So how did they do their registration? And then in any case, we are bound to have an election on 7th December. How are we going to have the election? We're going to queue. Are we not going to queue? Because in Ghana, we don't have mail voting and we don't have electronic voting. So we will queue. On 7th December, we will queue. There's no two ways about that. In Africa now, as we sit here, in this May, Burundi is having elections. In July, Malawi is having a general elections. In October, Tanzania is going to have elections. Mali had their elections last month. So certainly our elections, and Ghana is the beacon of democracy in Africa. Why should we be sitting aback?
Well, inti amayoko mienu no wamo adwenkyerɛ efa NIA card and a Ghana card any passport akoye the document EC but should the CI the currency Adom Nashibejafo animu no say wamuji tuma but yambra studio na fe yambehye nkomotwetwe no ase Sami Jemfi National Communication Officer of the NDC Obekansa Sami akwaba that hode won hode nice one. Well, yeah, set it tone and the brew you would stream and in as much as possible because say me makwan me mabre na afenu ni nyina no omutimi ekire wo madwe. Of course at the end of the show no wa wo tie me wa wo hwe me you should be able to decide baby a ugina na yetimi akoye nim but that's someone ube boy kakra the processes leading to the current register you kura ho voters ID card no then ye share ya ntia na akohia say ye yi saa ne ma ni bi free mu na ye dey see akoto emahye budafo mani madam
me that's anopai me gidi say o show yes no konkura afi na asimu meboa ana ene ne toso na say moye Moka TV ni
radio ni na bo ma na ye ne toso Nnawotwe the 8th edition
makomonim mo bodwuma mo bodwuma ele abenchia be ba payi la daga kufodo menchia na bede akire menchia mikuo mpanyimfo chairman general secretary organize omom ka ho nyina chia om nyina sana mempeso aso adenta constituency omada romantina metiha metia constituency ni nyina na afei MPP fo a delegates ombeto me so aba enche ombeto me so aba no so metia om pa ya om to ameso so omunti ena me wa ha omunti ena me wa ha adenta minti na me wa ha me da omasipa so mama misa akwanya no na binchi Ghana fo nyina afise sebe Ghana dachi nti na abato sem ewo ho se ebibia na yewo ho a yenkai hu se enhihye ewo ho a yeredi man so se enhihye na yewo mu no enye nna na ewo ho mpenso nyina ebi abapen ya first republic ya second republic ya third republic mfinfin mu ho no yesi binye na sojafo atuagu yesi nye ni atuagu ni aba ni asan akoye chi ni akoye constitution nyame ncha de fourth republic ide Adom ye 28 years ti nkeye pa akoye nim 28 years ya ye election no baako enson nti yegitum se aboa ye akoye nim na ye nso a directwe ne de eba mempene yesi say ebi aba emra nso aba enhyehyeye a wa abato ho enso ebi aba sabre num no bibiri aba so atiase bibiri aba na enhyehyeye de to aba ne se register nso yaye bi nye ba ko pani yaye bi yasakire mu akoya nimu a yasakire mu bibia no yenyina faako yasakire mu nti di gina sesei no ni ogidie se yabakosem enti enye nwanwa de yebeye no sesei no nyaade bia sebe enyina eni nyina so se yabakosem mu ana yedaache ewonyina so nti Jerry emeka ko siswa de se de tie bia no 2020 o se to aba to o se to aba ne se ya to aba fourth republic ne daachi no ebeye nwonwan kakra afise emra na ye wo sesei no enhye da ni nhyehyeye bia agitumu se ye nto aba na ye to obi so aban mu ana nipa ne sifo ma ye beye nhyehyeye akono a betimi aso ye nyina ye mu eno nti ehia se to aba na therefore covid and ye nyina hye ka moto bi ena abebumu a nti ama niema aye yi kakra nti kwan ye befa so a ye ne covid betintam na yetimi ato aba mempaibo asema obusa meba ho ba mempaibo pa Ghana fo na mo hwe ye ne mempaibo ne se ebe yakono si ebe kwa akotwere ye din ebe yakono se ebe gi atum se yen na ye daachi ejina ye so na kwan ya ebe bo daachi ne ho ban ne se ebe to ye be twere ye din ato aba enu ntibere ne so a ye be kwa akotwere ye din na yetimi ato aba sede ne ye sori kokuro mu no a ye bo ye ho ban no bigidi se ye pia ye nim ye ekoso a ye di ehim ti ye wen ye ho ye hwe ye ho so yie enti eni se abato sem no eda so no ye ntonkoso wen ye ho ye ntonkoso hunu se covid ewo hoyi ye nim ye da ye nim sɛ covid ɛbɛkɔ sɛ enya nkɔɔyɛ yɛnim sɛ yɛbɛtwɛn ama covid akɔ ansa ne ayɛ biribiara no yɛnim bere a ɛbɛto yɛn sɛ 2020 no bɛduru na covid ɛkɔ a na sɛ nkɔɔyɛ sɛ ɛnkɔɔyɛ na wɔsi ɛto aba yi kwan a yɛbɛfa so a yɛbɛtumi ayɛ nhyehyɛeɛ a yɛbɛkɔ yɛn nti saa register yi yɛdi kan paa biometric register yi 2012 ɛne yɛyɛɛ na okayi a MPP foɔ deɛ yɛn fansie ɛbiri biara ne yɛ ne yɛpɛ sɛ yɛsakyera yɛabatoɔ nneɛma mu ne kɔnkan na saa nsakyerɛeɛ no yɛpɛ ne papa mu sɛ bɛyɛ yie na adom yɛ nyinaa nti ansa na 2012 abatoɔ no bɛba no yɛhyɛ aseɛ edidi nkita ho sɛ yɛn nsakyerɛ yɛabatoɔ no a akɔyɛ yɛhwɛ w'anim na wayɛ yi no na obi hwɛ w'anim na ɔde wo mfoni ayɛ no ɔno gyina ne nkosua so no na yɛnkɔ biometric nti yɛde kokromotie afidie agye wo kokromotie 2012 ɛyɛ saa na nneɛma a ECG yɛ wohwɛ public elections registration of voters regulations 2012 CI 72 nneɛma a EC ɛyɛ n'adwuma a mrapɔn no article 45 ɛma EC ho kwan sɛ 45A no compile a voters register constitution deɛ one sentence but compile ɛkwan a ɔbɛfa so a ɔbɛyɛ no no ɔyɛ nhyehyɛe no wɔ CI no de abɛto parliament voting nso duru hɔ a conduct elections ɛno nso wayɛ ho nhyehyɛe no de abɛto parliament nti saa bere no CI 72 no ɔmbusa passport na di kan driver's license na ɛtɔ so mmienu national identification card ɛtɔ so mmiɛnsa saa national identification card no saa bere na wɔ sɛ nka NI sɛ na wɔ hɔ a ɛte aseɛ wɔ sɛ yɛ adwuma national health insurance card na ɛka ho an existing voter identification card na wɔ hɔ ɛna one voter registration identification guarantee form as set out in Form 1 of the schedule that has been completed and signed by 2 registered voters. Na afei wakase F no a obeye voter registration identification no, a registered voter shall not guarantee the identity of more than 5 persons. It is a share way and on the year 2012 register.
Okay. Well, Sammy, my browse, so I'm saying you're 8 minutes, Yako. So now we set the ball rolling. You have issues with NIA card and a passport, electoral commission, put it out as breeder document. Of course, there are other options. I'll bet me and Yanko for Mama Vaje amount now to set the ball rolling. What are the issues?
The Kama Menchia, of free MPP, Honorable Boabian, someone I mention one and pay Wajabre, a hay, which each in the bench in our feed cases. A seminar adapt no so media a yenibrisem. A yenibrisem because a buyer or tia kunyasui, a year or mampenia kufuado, nin MPP a buying. Or my reata so say about where die nim a few way muno. Or money electoral commission and Jimens and Dano.
You know,
we are
no basis for this.
You see, omo boss a poboni so mo be wia afi we abatu mu no CJ enye ne na ye mu bi die na ye nim dada ti ye start kan ho asem say new voters register EC 4 person mo ye ni nyina no eye sa abatu nwie mu no mo person mo wie mu no entia enye bibia ntia because wo hwe ensem wo mo kan ye any nyina so o mo de ma ye say nunti na wase ye new register na
no kwasem biye niwa na eto aso ya ka kire omo sa mbere ne se masa obroni say if it is not broken don't fix it ade no sensei ya yenkura no register in print ye wono ye biometric register hote edimu ye de ato abeyo mampanyi Mahama in 2012 ya to abade yo mampanyi Akufo-Addo in 2016 a wadi nkunim by over 1 million votes ya mpaso ye de ato assembly elections in Prensa ye de aye referendum they create 6 new regions a ho amasem dia results wa register we any voters ID card kita no are produced in elections have been held to be legitimate and credible. Abisine obi ani wa odi adanse bia basa register no ho won keka bia enu tie wose yatotwene. Ti ade na wo register wa bokho ka. Infidia ya say Ghana fo sika wo ho. If 2016 besi na nko an ya boss amfidie we won ka $60 million. Enye hwe fie twa mu ya de aye elections ama ye bisa isi for say register na ho tia na ho nti isi for say register na ye credible le ho te papa na ye da sore ya wo say ye ma wo kwan na to register ni nyina to twene mfidia ya boka e de ato ebi ye mfidi mu no thousands of laptops ye ma wo kwan na to ni nyina to twene na ye foforo yes amasa we de ye bro adwen ne nti ase Sebi, oh my God, na ye honso sa. And every coronavirus, ya ho chira, e dia ba beto o manfo so. Na ye be dwen impuntu nyuma ho no. Mo be say $800 million on a register here because you have one which is credible. Ye ka se masa, se afidie kra na ho se aye dada na problem wo mu a. Sebi, wo akoda na yare a. Unfa ba mu akura ni timu nkunu because akura ne yare na wone wo yere akwa akura foforo wo de ne be kwa asopiti amana ya sa ne yare nti se fidie no kra na wo free se timato bi wo mu a yetimi kura ne ma ne yeye ana utimi de dada ne kɔ na de sika kakra soso na wo de agemo no na se mpo di fidie mu no ne ba wo data wo so ye voters register wa fidie no so ne se wo totwene ya kire sa nyema we mu nyina ama 6 political parties PNC, PP, so many political parties. And over 30 credible civil society organizations. Masa, easy for the more calendars. New register na mo pesa mo ye na ye dwen ho ayente ase Imani Africa akabi, Ghana Integrity Initiative akabi, CDD akabi. Credible civil society organizations e wo Ghana he nyina se mo pesa mo ye no. E bo man ka e de asembe ba. Emre kra aka from now to the elections, extra for you to attempt to do a new voters register, or they be register over 18 million people. Man, we ya nyema ne bebo bomo so mama ya nyema preka mane di ye nei ayeden aba. Ya ka we nyina isi for so omonti ase. Because omabo pobone so mo be wi abane. Nti yeguso aye twe ho daare because ye de ye sin kete se Ken register na maso ye mo mo hye o my God sika ye mo mo wi abanimu like they are trying to do through the new voter registration exercise ye go so aye twe da re na e na ade a ya ka ho asem wa ka amanfo se ye ni nyina so bi ayeboa ye num ne keka ye nti ne ye kasa kwa no afa de o ma set no emotion their rigging agenda no they've set it in motion. How have they set it in motion? Yet wo coronavirus aba CJ nyina ya dwen wo yare wi so kwan ben ne betumi afa so aboa ama yetimi atu yare yase president Mahama eche PP o che we ye che nuane ye education ye nkora Mensa Electoral Commission akuchire mra foforo e de akomra hye bedwam se omo ba betwere din afi we mu na sa mra no e no mo begina so de atwere din minu ya hye nso se according to Ghana Statistical Service data any easy for one kasa data no Ghana for 18 million no mo ye 18 years and above it is also be new voters register e was a wutwire mu din hye nso biem so say the right to be registered as a voter no lawyer for say inalienable rights just odoma nkuma nyankopon bo nipa no de adua ni mu di free ni mu enye very universal adult suffrage to hear article 42 a say eye clear so obi adi mfie du nwotwe ene ye kire na na adwe mu dawa he is entitled to be registered. And it's also be a new register and I want your audience will be we abamudia. And yet, and she was some brand new na what ya come na she bedroom. And was say she say I bet massa 18 million in na kwanya amometi my head actually mudi. A BM Shannon so say. Emra ye twe that railway. Easy force your be a new register supported by their spokespersons MPP. Now yes we any civil society organization say entiase. Over 30 years say entiase.
Ah grow bilier.
See you tell me. You call IPAC meeting on the 30th of January. And yet political parties in Kwana na wo. Asofo mpanyufo. If one kasa te futu ko bia ye from eminent advisory committee. Osofo panyi Archbishop Duncan Williams kan hu bi. Osofo panyi Pamabaka kan hu bi. Nkramufo mpanyufo Justice Bishop. And I see for ba ho. Ebe ye presentation ni bi nikita me. Mo say Ghana's election 2020 understanding the need for a new biometric voter management system and the compilation of a new voters register.
2 minutes.
Oh, Mr. And you soon the standard because you gave him time to make a submission. And then you soon the standard name. I mean, yes, I have not made any point. So once you have admitted that we have time,
sure,
my main friend see a seminary pubia, I'm a man what say case so that he can come in. And see, a presentation way to justify their decision to do a new voters register. Now check it, slide 27. Omo ankasa bisa omo hu co-sign say. Ye NDC for ni ebinum ye nenam okasa say EC for be ye new voters register. Card na ekita isisi no. Omo beto atwene. Data omo woni nyina omo beto atwene ntia ye kabo. Na anye bia no sa asem wa ye ka na yampa na nyampa. Eni is the EC discarding all previous data? And omo answer ye no. Nyadia existing voters ID card and only the two abama o mampeni Akufo-Addo winning 2016 by over 1 million votes no. Nyadia omo beto atwene omo be yusu. So omo poto say the EC will use the existing data of voters during the registration of voters into the new voters register. To be registered into the new register, existing voters need to only present their existing voters ID card to the registration officer. Not just a ground rule number 1 is if we catch political parties as of one penny for all stakeholders. Let's say existing voters ID card no nikita ya no. And on the day your banking transactions ni bibiano. They will use it for purposes of registration. Number 2, answer no more dem ra we kono. 2020 budget hearing is if we come na shebedwam. And am na shebedwam fo bi so mo say anye bia registration na mo pese mo ye na fee no. Mo be use Ghana card ya NI for ye ho adwuma. Si je na wo krum a wo kai. Isi for ka say Ghana card de lalai. Because NI for cramp no nwie ye. Nti enya de omo be rely on NI for Ghana card because omo features kro omo pe e de aye voters registration NI card dey be. They told all political parties and the entire country said ye use NI card. Na fiti hana asem ne won. Ye busu aye ka coronavirus one asem mo dem ra komra hye bedwam. Ye ko hwe mra ni mu a. Jimensa ECC new register na omo baba be ye no. Aje se wo nkrata mienu. Anasa mienu ne mu ba akọ. Ansa ne yakase wo ye Ghana ni atwere wudin. De di kan e passport. Yes, passport. Okay, they be ada ya you use passport. But passport no wo kohwe Ministry of Foreign Affairs data. Nipa be 2 million pen e wo passport wo Ghana. 2 million no so nkoda aka ho. Se wo yi nkoda o mo ye below 18 years free mu a, wo be 1.5 million Ghanaians o mo ye 18 years and above o mo wo bi. Nti no ntimi mfa verify nipa ni nyina. Then almost a second card o mo beje. Ya Ghana card yes ye. Ghana card you catch there and say nya dia mo de be ka ho this year registration because NI for nwie won hyehyɛ. Esi dan na mafa sumu ase dia akɔhyɛ. De ti ameka so mafa sumu ase akɔhyɛ mu ne sɛ omo de mra ne kɔ no ma mo political party dia ma ne ya anwe ho ya ni hu nkɔmɔ ya anye hwe. Afi bia so no se ya abato ho mra political parties ni nyina na yɛtena se yɛte legal committee in 2012 ye CI 91 legal committee MPP rep Obi Amwa NDC rep Hudu Yaya small parties James Kwamna Bonfe ne is in penny for near Yembra de co. Where your mother suma said the co. Yes, and I card, you can say more function. But Moody, okay, yeah, Ghana Ford was saying. And there was a NIA card, maybe on bit media Baba Diagin and Musomo Ghana for your true. Yes, I say, almost 6.5 million. That is almost 18 years and above. Because NIA for issue 7 million cars. And that includes almost 15 years, 16 years, 17 years. What's your free more? Or more 18 years and above, 6.5 million. Yes, okay. Data, no such as say, we have 18 million people above 18 years. And 10 million now can. Because all the 1.5 passports, what they become with one, it's just about 7 million. 10 million now can. Or more by a day, no matter the crater, be about some of your gun and yammy actually. Identity and an existing voters' ID card. More capture political parties, more documents in civil society organizations, media, some of the back home, more year free. And you know, so be in your mind. And you say, we voters' ID card, the free one, and ye because. Who person will train you pedi? We are self and then you know, who train you pedi? Card ya would j now they are yen as what you would. And it was a card ya. Dodo on I then it would be. Card me nipa be 7 million penny will be. But voters' ID card in print nipa 16 million in Kitabi. So it is the most available card. Voters' ID card is no. And on a Supreme Court in the Abu Ramadan case, ruling Newaha. Ajia to say it is the best identification card. A bit near the dance say I was will register to be as a voter. What the also to Chenya. Voters' ID card, a minute BIA registration was Ghana 95, 2004, 2012, and even 2019 year Mensa year limited registration. Yeah, use existing voters' ID card. So it's said then, and we use our voters' ID card. We are not a dodo wobi. A ye papa, ye dia to Abama or Kufu Adwamana by over 1 million votes. We are no free. Almost yo, a school of thought to be or say, and ye papa, and say, voters' ID card, yeah, the man here. And to want to be in a school of thought to so invalidate your voters' ID card. Now, almost yo. Uni passport, uni Ghana card ya. Ehona me de besi no. Obi betimi, ubetimi akopa nipa mienu omo Ghana card de passport. Ah, o ma register for the new card. No ma ba be di adanse ama o say oye Ghana ni. Na ya twere wodi. O card ade to abama president Kufu Addo ne de Jimensa se onye. Aje so obi ade agire bu ama. Na hona asem ne wo. Because we are saying she mu no, just 2 quick points there. Say wo twere din ya. Card ya wo gina so de atwere nipa de din no. I will say to me verify at least 90 to 95% of the people. The secondary process will be media jinamuma will be no. And only the exception, not the norm. I was saying no to identify just about 5% of the people. In this case, who used to Ghana card the passport wa, just about 40% of the people now will be to identify them. Don't do also what MPP strongholds. What NDC strongholds like Upper East, Upper West, the Kekahon, Oti, Savannah no. Okay. So they will rely on the secondary processor, a complex, laborious, slow, cumbersome, into the better disenfranchising. Again, say Obi register or Ghana has said this will be my last point.
Your very last point.
For a voter's ID card. Voter's ID card now, you're the man of and you're valid. Tell me you. So what registration ne? Now you're my card. Card now you're the amount and you're valid. And you're provisional. Until say easy for be a final register, o card make it out, don't even find your share. Or the call bank cry yet. Because we are about to share, when you can't trade in the na the nini na kwa good system back so. Na ya exhibition. Na ya the friend who did duplication. Or more material mudi mienu anami and san na ya yini na ya den e the film. Okay. And san ya final register. And the easy for person mo ye no. Me dey see me born power. Okay. The easy for person mo ye no. Say Oko uni passport, uni Ghana card. Now we see obia wako trade the enya register enya valid, enya provisional because the new final register at the time. Ono nko di ejinemu ma no de ko di ejinemu ma nipa du. Na ye ko wie ye di duplication ye hu se sa nipa ko no register mienu. Ana we register miensa. Okay. Ni ye ni di free mu e che se sanfo ni nyina no omo ntimi nto aba. This is the rigging machinery and agenda of the NPP and the ECA. And we are saying, say, never will we allow any voters register, based on only Ghana card and passport are available.
Okay.
Add the existing voters ID card. I know you're number one. And some point you about discussing whether or not Ghana needs a new voters register, because as for that one, we still stand by our position. Say we don't need a new voters register, but we will not allow them to disenfranchise millions of people, mostly in NDC strongholds, because some person will have them.
Is it not surprising? Say for the first time, of course, most amount of times I announced their submission. For the first time in our voter registration history, voter ID card. A free requirement, lawyer.
Yeah. Because say about why to Krumhan, you are back with 2012, you two abani wie no. Yangi abanantu. New Patriotic Party, MPP. Yangi abanwa you two no. Antum. The presidential candidate, the vice presidential nominee, and a chairman of the party, I'm call court, election petition, at the call court. Now, election petition, no. At the say voter registration, na no. Register no, ya de two abano 2012. Register na yede to abano 2012 no. Etochim. Ededi wo court pefe. Se court G election itu mu so watu awie ne enkyere se saa ne ma no ensi. Nti wo ka se court agi atum ti yeto aba na ye legitimate na watia no kura bi so kakra. Nti Jerry o hwe court no ye see court ni bia Afarijan electoral commissioner Dr. Afarijan parliamentary election register 13.6 million presidential 14.1 million any PM kunta PM wo hono no difference na da so no if we hin e buy Afarijan ka say difference ni free amano ne okofa omo aba oba ye no odidin 705 and a bar court edin 705 nko the bar court no na bi wo mu a wasan ye den e dem double na tie the Afarijan kai o say in the words of Dr. Afarijan concerning Ghana's 208 voters register and thereafter. If our population is indeed 22 million, then perhaps 13 million people on our register would be statistically unacceptable by world standards. If that is the case, then it may mean that there is something wrong with our register. The EC chairman appealed thus: all of us as Ghanaians, if we think the figure is not realistic, have a collective responsibility to try to clean the register. Now, say no. The yet if NDC for Jose, 18 million, 17 million, inti NI intimi issue card enrusa, inti intimi nkoto abra yen voter register dadano card dadano enko. Free 2012, yasi sa register no emu awrem. Yako ho demonstration edidi di ho nkomo ya ye nhyiamu akese civil society ye nhyiamu eyi ankasa electoral commission ankasa eye ho nhyiamu so okaya crab committee yesan ko Alisa hotel na de eha adwen efa sa card no ho voter registration card na ompese yusu sese ne se Sabri no. What the driver's license? Ekwa unyebi. What the NHI ekwa unyebi. Na ni entie ho ase ema obi Abu Ramadan e de call Supreme Court. Abu Ramadan de call Supreme Court say Sa voter identification card na nkrofo kura no. Nkrofo pi the NHI abeshim. The NHI ne koje card no. Abra NHI no. Obiya timi gibia onye Ghana ni. NHI card no yetimi de mawa onye Ghana ni. Na se onye Ghana ni na on sabe kan NHI card. Na otimi de akọ ya hospital. No ni se ma okwan na odi yiye mampanyi.
But ukura dey na automatically utimi control din.
Sabre no.
Yes, sabre no.
Sabre no.
Sane.
Ena abura mada de court. Ena Supreme Court say eno de yenyi mfiri mu. E ba jaw kai pa. Supreme Court ka say obi a okura NHI card bia no yenyi mfiri mu. Na de ewirem wo ho ne say ebesi ne Electoral Commission entimi enyi saa din dodo no enfiri mu ahotokwa so. Omo entimi enyi din no. O kaya Supreme Court ni wo mo tentam ye pa. Se omo mia omo ni no munyi edi no enfiri mu. Omo entimi. Enti voter register no a ewo ho sesei no. Obi di card ba nipa omo ka 17 million 18 million no mo saa card no. Obi wo ho kura saa card no a ene wonim kwan ofa so a onya card no enso ne biometric data ewo ayinum database no efi se watimi anya card ne bi or the NHI card na giye or the driver's license na giye nti the biometric data abam nti ono okra card no de ba se san twere midin a na che se o kokra de wo pese o sa kyere mu no asan aba wanim biem o ti de make na jerry o kokra o si ade ne nye o ye afiri mu afa de o san akọwachi akọgi saa ade na wo si enye na opeso yi o san akọgi de abehye ayinum so the same requirement na wo si enye no o san akọfa e de abehye o card fufura wo yinum na che se kwasi kono gira kwantia wa anya dwuma bia wa nkasa wa san abo ho tuo wo si ade ne nye important pa si ati ase se card no sebi bebia efiri ba no nsem ewo ho nsem ewo ho no ne se ebinum kura bia omanya ne kwan bi so a yentimi nka ne fiko se omye Ghana fo
which is the current voter
ID card no yentimi nche ne fiko se omye Ghana fo mpo ewo ho Supreme Court aka say NHIA card no de yentimi fan to aba yentimi fan ye abato grata enne obi ani ho betimi aka se Electoral Commission asem ayiwo sa nipa ni nyina afiri mu awie o kan sa enye yi Electoral Commission agitum se omo ntimi anye sa adwuma enti register na ahye kubu no o san kofa sa card no e de aba abetwere register foforo enye se wo kwa na wo ha ho wo san tia emra Supreme Court emra memra
lawyer member what to aso o ka se o tia Supreme Court emra no Supreme Court emra kro no as the Abu Ramadan case and in your kafa voter ID card no say ye free mo is it not the same way say ye tia Supreme Court emra say o ka Supreme Court
ye free mo tia Supreme Court emra say mentia say
that's the Supreme Court said that the existing voter's ID card is most widely available identification document in Ghana with over 16 million holders and has been upheld by the Supreme Court of Ghana as the best prima facie evidence of voter eligibility.
When a case has been upheld by the Supreme Court of Ghana, why quotation are we?
This is a free anchor.
And I can't say na we quote no.
Na me quote no.
On quote to position cancer. Now, it has been widely accepted. Did the Supreme Court say that NHIA holders were valid? Did the Supreme Court say that? No. Into the Supreme Court's observation that it is widely, it is true. It is widely. That's what the register was based on. What you say? It is widely. It's a large database. And now a database a does among for their identification document because the banks and all that have access to it. And no interest NHIA holders any so And just because it is widely held, you know, throughout the you know, it is the most genuine document because NHI for was to be no. And yes, and the Supreme Court was specific about that case. Say, ye NHI for free mo, if you say, omukra card no anything omukra be. NEC and Timmy, yes, Edumano, I'm an answer. They were not able to. Okay, say, obviously, Supreme Court say is the most widely available, the most credible, the most per the standards of the time. Because almost home fear watch, you might be a national identification card. They were not able to produce a national identification card to rival that of the EC. The EC's card is not an identity document. It's for voting. You should have had a national identification card, which they never produced. If the EC had a large database, which they insist on doing because they are entitled to compile a register to conduct an election, and they insist on conducting a register. They have that right, they have that authority. So they conduct and establish a register. When you register, Nase, register no muno. Emra omwa de buy the register no. In Shensudie bi wo mu a, echire ne hu se sa Shensudie no, emwa. Enti yaka say it's widely available. Does that mean say Shensudie bia or the GB bia correct? That is not true. Okay. It is not true. What can I say? It is widely available. It is being used. It is credible. Institutions are receiving it. Does that mean that institutions are genuine? Bank is genuine? NHI for any manner? Because the court concluded that NHI holders who used NHI cards to acquire that identification card were not entitled to it. They were not entitled to it. It will be. That's all the bank near Gia. Bank for no question say or the NHI card Nigeria. What you say? When you have a PEC database, this one dear. And will be a because EC database at that time, no NHI anti-management, it was widely available. And will be a so what you say? Bank what the people were virtually using it as an identification card because it's widely available. The database is there. No interest say. Obia okra card ni bi owo database no onya card no kwampa so enchesa ya bi ye adwuma no nchese obia nya no kwampa so e wo se yetisade na sepa obi kura EC card no na nchese onya no kwampa so nti chinchini a okura bi didie e papa Supreme Court dey nyini nyina na e papa ye nyin firi mu omantimi enyin firi nti yare EC, NIA, Emra, and the edge. Sebi, NDC for SC Abang, and NIA is Aquatrans ABV Abem. And ya daji, Aquatrans ABV Abem. Not just say, Omo Parliament, I wohono. Parliament na NDC for wohono. Parliament na NDC for no more no go kwa omo nya adwuma bia efi se NI da ben na nhyehyɛ ne ba yɛ sa akron de ne eba ono sam je fi kan sisi a match ya mimiti studio na ntokwasi ye panelists bi ka say electoral commission enfa NIA database enye new register sata na covid march afi na covid beba ema isika se omo mfa enye na no chese nipa yabo efo eno che nipa abopo
no but it's not surprising say
meba medru ho
at one point we say enya dia ye bedi atu then another point
medru ho yare medru ho nti mpese meti ase ye nyina ti ase se da ben na sa epobo no bai medru ho se omo ball po no was match ya na NIA esimu dada na o match chire din wo mantem dada omso mo kono anti clockwise ama frau voter dano metie prof o si eho no mo issue the highest number of valid cards. It's an NDC stronghold. It's an NDC stronghold. Inti osheda koye NDC stronghold no vote no papa. Se be ya e be kire se oni aban ene ai abopo. Se ye ma Ghana for and trouble ma NDC. Inti meti studio enom kan sa asem se on de mo mfa enai e be ye ntokwa. Professor Atefa a full press conference on any staff. Sabrin se me many anyi hey daddy and ekosi aban aso ye mienu na mo de atintam sa e kire se ne nhihye no waduru akiri a obetimi di aye ye wo so ode ye o ti ase now e kwan be so ne fa ya NI omo no se omo die nhihye ya omo de be ye omo card no inyina swarm de be ye no be se e kwachiri kakra omo de ye parliamentary report wa.
Lawyer, come in 2 minutes, Mami.
I don't know 2 minutes. Oh, man, because I free for all.
I'm keeping
the time. Are you free for their time? Which time are you keeping? His time or my time?
Both times.
Do I know you you abandon timing. I can't say when you see me time. You abandon timing. Yeah. This is the parliamentary record. NDC MPP. In parliament as well as in committee. NI 2017. Omobai. So omo besisa. Emrano Act 750 no. Section 8 no a chere insurance de no voter ID card ni ade ka ho. Asem kind, see. Despite the successful implementation of these laws, certain developments in SMBSC ye nipa yakoyanim in SMBSC ama e was some sachira emranum, and I'll quote this in English. These developments include the decision of the Supreme Court in Abu Ramadan versus Attorney General and Electoral Commission, delivered in May 2016, which has precluded the use of national health insurance cards as proof of citizenship. Until there was so free. Omo dienum NI emrano mbe no foforo no ene NI card ba ko no enka ho meboa ye wie debate no NDC fo nyina wo ho NDC fo nyina ekoho on the fate of those who may not have the above documents for Frona, NIA ban. It was refreshing, committee in the NDC for MPP for, to note that ample arrangements have been made to enable such persons to be registered. The identity of such applicants could be vouched for by two relatives or by two non-relatives to be determined by the NIA. Okay. It came to Parliament. And NDC 42, the concluding part of that, the committee commended highly the Honorable Minister responsible for initiating the amending legislation. Highly. What you say? Now, Jerry, about easy. About easy. 2019 Special Budget Committee, leader of the minority, and the majority leader. Outlook for 2019 is report, compile a credible voters register.
Can I say,
now, almost register as far back as that time. They told Parliament they were going to have a new register, and Parliament includes NDC. Inti se obika se obia fasumasi akoye register na enwanwa. Now yemra yanim. Say no. Orlando point, so I want to land on that point. Say putupru ena
land on that point.
Putupru ena isi say wasesa na dwen. Eno kre. Sa presentation me hwe bi. Isi kan say ubetimi de o ka dada ba. Na nkyere say say Sabrina na nyemra no easy ntimi sanadwen emfa mra foforo emma parliament. It is the right of the NDC to argue and question it. And so easy wo to me say won so de ba. Yenti krom ha ne ye referendum. Ye wo mrahye bedwam. Na NDC fo ka kire ye say ye ko amend article 243. Ah, omo ka kire say yen kofa 55 ewo constitution enka ho. And yes, let me land on that point. Malandia and Tiasia, Malandia and Tiasia, Genesis, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, even 30 seconds, even 30 seconds, even 30 seconds. Oh, she had again, 30 seconds. Show, when the parliamentary leadership had decided, say, young comment the 55, NDC chairman, the general simply to say, party Nasi Sanadi, into the entire referendum process had to go waste. Okay, now say easy back. Easy. Sami. Kase obe yusu. Adia emra because card no. NHI emra si mu ntimi fa sa card ni adwuma. Nti obe yusu NI card. Ghana card. Eno no chese aban. Any easy. Aba. Nkola asembe ni. Okay. Well, sir me share yen na hwe TV so a Amadou Sile transferred votes illegally, chopped money report, and I have a portion of it here. If we can go to the second one. As the chairperson, Charlotte Osei, gave evidence against Amadou Sile, saying that when she heard that STL was effecting the transfer of voters from the voter management system illegally, she received email evidence from STL of voter transfers done through the VMS by STL between 1st January 2014 and 3rd and 4th September 2015 to date. Sami, is this not enough reason for us to call for a new voter?
Yeah, CJ, say, in all fairness, I will get equal opportunity to make my case. My starting fee was Mbisana. Because they are one of the bankrupt arguments. Or more, I'm not referring to you. Or more yes arguments. Or more here to justify the indefensible.
Including former chairperson Charlotte.
Oh, if I just make up. Illegal voter transfer and invalidate existing voters ID card. Voter transfer in the same. And this will be two about a police station A. Now we're in a few, and then I go police station B.
Police station B in some police station.
Sorry. But I want to read the next paragraph. If we can put that on the screen. Now, when she confronted STL why they were doing so against the laid down procedures, the contractor said that all the transfers were authorized and showed scanned copies of WhatsApp instructions to STL from Amadou Sule.
Hey, can I continue? What is that question now?
No, for the purpose of discussion.
Okay, so you finished.
There were 17 such exhibits with a list of people to be transferred either through WhatsApp or handwritten notes bearing Amadou Sule's signature.
But wait.
Maybe.
Good.
Is this not enough reason? Does this not suggest
that it reinforces the point I'm making? So you allow me to answer your question.
Thank you.
Voter transfer, anything. So we didn't need voter register, so I ain't been transferred. Are you getting me?
Me too.
To be transferred means that you are a registered voter with a voter's ID card. It is a transfer, no, you're wrong. I don't just say voter's ID card, you're wrong. Let me break it down for you to understand.
Break it down for my
voter transfer, let's say, will be a registered voter's ID card or to a bar or bantama. Press B primary A. Now, you then call ABR Usu Roman Catholic police station B. So what you say? So how transfer now? You can only transfer your work card that or to a bar. You didn't go register anymore. Now, so transfer no mrada home. So the transfer is illegal and void. But the non chase any chronic card nikitano void.
Okay, so transfer no home run.
And I will buso. Oh,
see, transfer
no your mra your transfer. are political parties in any DHD. What can you say, Charlotte, or say, Bonin Crew in that case between one and the chairperson, or say the deputy chairperson, ASR transfers now, no as chairperson, now only. And I made sure say, same podium Charlotte or say, can any no cry. And this involves only 17 people, according to Charlotte or say, out of a register, NIPA at the time over 15 million names. 17 out of 15 million. Same podium Charlotte or say, can any no cry. And yet the transfer no na wrong. But the voters ID card make it they are correct because they are voters. It means that they are supposed to vote at their original police stations.
But if the transfer is wrong, doesn't it raise questions
about the card? Question being raised about the card. You are a voter. You have a card already, but you are supposed to vote with your card at a particular police station. And you say your transfer was wrongly, or transfer no wrong. It was back to the Autoaba. Your card is valid. And you no undermining the existing voters ID card in any case. So to the metro in any case, say we are unlawful transfer. Emra da ho. Emra ne say. Emra ne say transfer why you am famra kwan so no. You twem. Yan ka say nipa 17 ya transfer your mo am famra kwan so ntino. Register nipa 16 million people di wom dey to atwene ne akoye foforo. What be that? Enti an unlawful transfer doesn't invalidate the register or the voters ID card of even the people who have been transferred. Not to talk about those who have not been illegally transferred. And even if there is a problem with data, Charlotte said, the details of those 17 people, all you do is to reverse their transfer so that they will vote at the baby Omotwaba. See, Jimmy Patu, what you say? It's my aunt was. Now, a platform where a platform was a super. If we say what the Abaha say, I may church and Yamwama, have wanted the Ekanase. The Yami does only say, I mean, penny abuabian somewhere. Yena, a lawyer for. Now, as a lawyer for a dear Bakua, Yatete a pa a womb.
Jerry, I may interrupt too. If you see, cast personal special,
will be no personal attack. So let me make my point.
Make your argument. Make your argument.
And every lawyer, you are training on how to interpret judgments or rulings of the court. It is a way a lawyer need, not judgment of the Supreme Court in the election petition case. Unim say, not judgment, and then voter register who baby are. Supreme Court and can a judgment in the baby say. Voters register at the 2012 elections, problem be womb. Now what kind of judgment as a lawyer? Now we bet not TV so case. Election petition case, court has a problem being when you know said that was not even an issue. Please let me make my point. When you was talking, you did not interrupt me.
Lawyer, it is a major issue. It was about the register.
You see, I mean, make this point very clear here.
Make your point. Make your point.
Obuoni ni dia me de ma yatie for ene lawyer boabian sambo na mesrese won fa bi mame. O kan sem bebre na me ne nya adwen be yekum. Edu ba bi kro say ensem na yemu bi kan ye nkrasem. No, let me set the rules. So if I have given him,
I set the rules here.
But I deserve to be treated fairly.
I set the
because men pese be say we aka na we aka. Obi an kan asem.
Sami kan asem.
Na ye ma tie fo ntie no mo ja. So what you say? Good. So the point I'm making here is say South Supreme Court election petition case na lawyer Boabian Samuatana Hakase. E can say voters register na yede to aba in 2012 when papa no. Me say yem kuntumpu. I am challenging him here today. Akabe 1 hour and say yapon. On shre me babia because he has the judgment. Supreme Court can say register yede to aba in 2012 no. Na problem bi wo.
Okay.
Let me make my point. My don't cut me. CJ, no, he will get an opportunity to make his case because the point I am making here, and I say, and if he is not able to prove it, he must retract and apologize for saying. CJ, I was saying, because it is not right. Supreme Court case about election petition. The whole case, I have read it more than 10 times. Every law student has done so. The whole case was about because of without biometric verification. Overvoting, pink sheet, serial numbers. Those were the issues for determination. At no point did any of the Supreme Court justices who presided over that matter, say, register the to about in 2012. Papa. It is as it was not even an issue for determination in the case. And it is not contained in any of the judgments. I am challenging him. We are more than 1 hour. Or see on Vamra. That is point number 1. In Kuntumpu number 1. Number 2. Or say, in the Abu Ramadan case, Supreme Court do say, or we take a decision say, ne binum the NIA card and actually mudi onto the register. Emma Supreme Court ne kasa sa fo ni nyina no. Ne ni say mo kwan mo the health insurance card actually mudi. Enu nti no omunyi health omunyi sa fo ni nyina din free register ni. According to lawyer Yabo Abia Samwa, or see easy for ntimi anya sa ade no. Si je nya sa no kan. Si je mi bi so wasem nya sa no kan. Omuntimi nye.
Emma NCP.
Obi obeka sa akire obi ase ni who because you nkontompo. You see, we are educating people and we must be factual in our assertions on this platform. Master, I hold in my hand here this story. We have the Ghana elections, africanelections.org. Title, the story was published on 14 July 2016. 56,772 NHIS registrants deleted from the voters' register. The Electoral Commission of Ghana has released a list containing details of all the 56,772 persons who used National Health Insurance Scheme cards to register as voters in 2012. Click on the link below to download the full list. Persons whose names have been deleted have 10 days from Monday, July 18, 2016 to re-register at the EC district office close to where they registered in 2012. To easily find out if you are part of the 56,772 persons deleted from the voters register, download the PDF file by clicking on Nnawotwe. So, Supreme Court man order say, omo the health insurance scheme cards are registered. And this omudin what register, the EC complied. Master, it is a serious issue, says Supreme Court by order. Now, in law, you find high crime. High crime. And it is obi wo evidence say Supreme Court here ruling in the Abu Ramadan case say you more health insurance or more health insurance scheme cards register onto the register din free. Any anya and or not wa and understand the pattern or here. Because when you say Abu Ramadan case, you Abu Ramadan case no 1 and you want 2. You 2 cases. See just only sir. First case now is 4 year deletions when in a way. And only the year or more deletion. Supreme Court FR auditor KPMG. And a KPMG for audit register no. And who say more health insurance scheme cards are registered. Because once who register will fill a form. Form now fill in your form 1A. On the form 1A, no card that would register as your primary source document. No, so. And KPMG for check it from 1A no identify 56,772 people. And a easy for delete here. And I'm publishing my journal online will be a publisher. And the amount I delete you within 10 days. For crata for brand it's been published, settled. In fact, Abu Ramadan sounds so called part 2. Equaka say, easy for any in free. And a Supreme Court to say, for KPMG, referee, why auditing, or may you say in evidence. Well, it is a woo evidence be a chair say. Or more health insurance scheme cards register and a BD that's too more evidence. Fabra, no modality. But see, not nobody has submitted even one name. Now, how many years after that? The same register and the other two in 2016. Me and Yechiko kwa yedinima. So now register and your papa. Now can free think you about 2016. A register which violates a Supreme Court decision. It was used for the 2016 elections without any contention because now you're clean away. And you someone lawyer Yabo Abia Samwa tena haka say, omo the health insurance scheme cards register yen yomudin free mun e yen kontompo. Okay. Oma me one person or the health insurance scheme card register ya yen yidin free. And do say je afa na masate me so nyanto bo say ma me. Me person or react to. No, me nyanwe ye because okanyema bebre so ntimi ka say me ka ba kwa react. And yes I think no car one time me say I have a reaction. Oh yes am komo nya de. Me ne nyanto bo say fufu afa ni ye wo masim na wo no mo nkwan. Nyanto bo say cause in kontompo ne doso. So health insurance a card as na work and it is neither here nor there. In any case, meanwhile, you use common sense. Say, right now me sami je mfi me ba na me say Ghana card na kenate for issue obi kita bia wonya Ghana ni a okita Ghana for die ni bi me be ka asa ni ntino yes Ghana card ni nyina na yenjusu bi me yetu agu ni aboka akoye foforo mini asase mu yeto asomu etiefo etie nyiro bi anjaje wo sie say obi din wo mu a onya Ghana ni no enya wo na wo de adanse ba be ba twa nya sa na ye no he who alleges must prove. And until 2016, still MPP for insistence said Togo for din were registered according to Dr. Bawumiano. Yet power by Joko just a scrap committee. Yet to yourself Fred Bawumia said, "U Togo for now so more registered in for Mobra." One name comment in Yavanko. Besin na omunti minchre obi a wanya Ghana ni ani din was about test register with. Omunti minchre. Yet the two about mama benefited by over 1 million votes. Almost na elections and they are credible. Obi a impugn the register. Now we better now because say register na credible. Omo to abama including MPP for omo to abama president Kufuor over 5.something million. No one cannot use the card to show some of Ghana for. Na nya battle na person we mu a eye de. In any case, say we evidence say obi will register no so ni so wo ho a. Supreme Court has established say the register can be revised. The register can be cleaned according to the constitution. Inti there was a way ya say fa nipa kro ni din bra. Utieme, two ways. For the Bible form 1A. So the or you unqualified that near free. Number 2, simple you see use existing voters ID card no and your card dimtre na person mo ye ne ho a. It doesn't stop MPP polling agent onim se sami jemfi etogoni na okwa ko register e Doma East primary A and stop no from filling a challenge form. Because it is only a prima facie evidence of your citizenship and eligibility. Absolutely. And your conclusive evidence. Obi betinya challenge or say, "Way okay, existing voters ID card, but we told you on your Ghana." And people na foreigners I will register so. Give it to your agents to challenge those people. So please. So let me land on this. So please. And someone waka about Supreme Court decision in the election petition case. He said, "I can't register where your papa na yunkuntumpo. I've challenged him to bring evidence." As someone waka, so more use health insurance scheme card. And the register have given you incontrovertible evidence that you're kind of yunkuntumpo. Just a scrap committee and in fact they upheld the integrity and sanctity of the current register and voters ID card.
Okay, but now, given the current the population of this country and the number of registered voters as of 2016, are you saying the register is not bloated?
Bloated, ne say. How can a biometric register? Every register in the world is bloated. Bloated, as such, which we can say, nipa binum will register nimua omontoaba. That is one form of bloating. Because unless we voters register September, November, say nipa binum. Omo will be no mudin as well register. Omon kati as for home. The register will be bloated at every given opportunity. But and also na free manual register na photo album register na ye one incarnated here to about 2018. Ye to eno no twene kwa ye biometric. Because biometric there odoman koma bo onya nipa no obia nipa bia de danso onsatea we entafo de kora yeden enye pe. Enti se nipa kro ni din wo register no owu a osaman to aba se meboa. Enti obia ni wo betimi di ni din na wo register no ma yeden ato aba. So with a biometric register no the issue of bloating is moot because nobody can vote twice, nobody can vote without verification. It is a within woman who will cry useless. Now you see, medical actually say existing voters ID card and on a Ghana for the donor will be 16 million people will be the most available card. A chain passport 1.5 million, 18 years and above, penny will be. And a Ghana card only 6.5 million people 18 years above will be. This is the Supreme Court decision here. Now, a dispute in the Ramadan case. See, the then Chief Justice, Georgina Wood, a kind of existing register. Or say, it may indeed be legitimately argued that for all practical purposes, the old voter card when put the biometric, card that photo album. The old voter card is the best prima facie evidence of an applicant's eligibility under the CI. Certainly, if the holder were not qualified for registration as a voter, how did he or she come by the voter registration card? So Supreme Court adhere to me say, Say wo pe krata wo betim be identify you be so you qualified to be registered as a voter. And actually, it is the voter's ID card at any given time. You cannot dispute it. So if we say obi kitabi na right, you can challenge. Then ABM me pacho me ba no wakasa che no wakasa che inti maza wakasa che I have made some points inti nyanto was me just 4 minutes I can end. Now me say also can be say CJ. The voter's ID card Nikita is the most widely accepted card. Because yenya yeju to me say no need dimu pa passport. Na see joy mo ye documentary be a friend paper citizen documentary. Why?
Yeah.
Omo nya Ghana for omo ko birth and death registry no makutua bribe no maje birth set no makwa your passport. Okay. That is how easy it is to get a passport. Enumpo no easy for omo beje. Enumpo ni enka say yen discard the passport because we have video evidence that says omo nya Ghana for passport. But voters ID card there ansana won sabeka no it goes through the most rigorous and strictest procedure. Just like a voter registration center, Obekono agents of all political parties, or EC officers, or observers, both local and international. Say, Obi crumble free, say you are not qualified, that they can challenge you and you go through a thorough process. So what you say? Because of some processes in Ghana, and a card there, banks, private institutions, public institutions, a G2 for purposes of identification, a voter's ID. Ghana card and the banks are accepted. Or the Ghana card called bank they are rejected. Now who easy? Card ya one kasa wa ya mayen. Card ya no ne dia to Obama President Akufo-Addo arene by 1 million votes. Card ya no na 16 million people wo bi. Me ma me abrewa nipa ewo nkurase nyina wo bi no. Wo so be trading na sa card no obi ntimi mfa ma se wo ye Ghana ni. Na mon passport a nipa 1.5 million pe wo bi. Ghana card a nipa 6.5 million pe wo bi no. Eno na wo beje. About one now person will be. Okay. Now again. No, I come the last but 1 point.
Make the last point.
So let me make my point. See the woman commanding you do. Why I tell me
you can testify and then put the
and then why are there kakra oh say on record. Oh say on record.
So make your last point. Na me twa me homra.
Me no atie me ye pa.
Make your last point.
Say there ya boabian samoa mo kan about voters ID card ni nyina ye no kra. Enye papa. E sit there na 30th January. 30th January year 2020. If one kasa ye documents e de come aso for mpany for political parties. No mo kan wo mu say existing voters ID ye be use. Abrana MPP for wo. No me can see so. It means he say. It means he say. Omo kan sa same way omo ni obo ni die ma Ghana mpanyi for those eminent personalities intino omo twa nkontompo kire omo mpanyi for no bo omo tin ko oh mo be use existing voters ID card na de ye no e no omo ni MPP for akwa hye dem abopo say ya dada mpanyi for na wie ye betimi adada omo and now they are manufacturing arguments to justify that. Finally ye ntia ye ni abra ye kasa about Ghana voters ID card na ye free mo no. You see, you must appreciate the demographics of Ghana and you here e wa ha. And this is a stronghold. Emirati ba me ma me pe upper east and upper west. Here wo pa ipa dodo na e wo na ni passport. Ghana card na ye de aka ho no so. Minua. Unim say omo target 18 million people to register. So for me register only 11 million. So about 7 million people have not been registered. But even the 11 million no ma register omo no. Upper east 93% of them omo nya omo card. Upper west 94% of them omo nya omo card. But Ashanti region there, more than 51% in your card.
Okay, but on this one,
what it means is, my response number. The point here, they say we voters ID card ni free when no young crowd from what's now say Ghana card na we use more people in Ashanti region are almost stronghold because of Ashanti region more common in fidie 3,600 according to one coin. Abranka in Puno use in fidie 1,000. More people in the MPP stronghold will be able to get the Ghana card and identify themselves. Okay. By in the NDC stronghold, don't mean it.
That's it.
And as I vouching for when I'm ending, and I'm also establishing. No, CJ, my means to be. Yes, say abasoba, and then my eja epai. It's true. My chere say, sa obi me di ejiremu obi me di ejiremu obi. Enyamra because CJ, my don't catch me. You didn't do that to him. So let me land 15 seconds for then. advert now, baby.
Who said 4 minutes crack?
4 minutes now, so your friend use 2 minutes. I'm ending on this last point. They say, I have raised an issue. You have not asked him. You've not even spoken about that issue. We are here to educate people. Me say, what say Obi will register for the new ID card and then guarantee ma Obi. So Oye Ghanaian. That nipa chronic card the kita no de kwa guarantee no enye valid because it's provisional. E betimi aba say you be go through deduplication, exhibition, adjudication awie no. Na say nipa chronic card no. Ya invalidate say we register you know and wanye Ghanaian. It is a ejramudie no and a guarantorship no. And the problem be back. He has not been able to say anything about it.
Yeah, share the justification for the Electoral Commission going by Ghana card and passport as brief document. It's the discussion for here. Say isi konenim na otwaso etu anamonya wotu a. Edian na ebisi wo hwen ewa Adom TV Samson out here in Kasempa 94.7 FM. Yentwa ye homra.